Hello, I'm Amy Zabe with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, April 11th. Credible data. The Jerusalem Post is a daily periodical newspaper from Israel with an international readership. If you happen to get a moment, I encourage you to Google it, and can find their international version online, free to read, and of course you'll want to choose the English version if that's your native tongue. You'll notice on the menu bar several sections like entertainment, economics, business news, and the like, but you'll also see one that's labeled BDS, wherein reporters post articles from around the world keeping a pulse on BDS activities, that is boycott, divest, and sanction activities designed to hurt the nation of Israel. Please keep in mind that this newspaper is actually a secular but certainly pro-Israel newspaper in its reporting. It is balanced and fair in my opinion if you take time to read the various articles. It is certainly a publication that is in favor of its own nation's right to exist, and the articles are fair to seek out all sides of a case, ask for quotes and input, and fact check all sides of a case. You will find several articles posted each month. The BDS topics can be from Europe, the US, even the Far East, or South America. I bring this to your attention so that you can arm yourself with knowledge and evidence of world events and not get caught in a credibility issue if folks are accusing you of getting your facts only from a sliver of a subgroup that is perhaps Christian or Zionist websites. Also, in last week's Jerusalem Post, Reuters picked up and disseminated an article regarding Belgium's Secretary of State publicly declaring that Jerusalem is Israel's undivided and true capital, though his own government officially condemned Donald Trump's declaration of such fact before Christmas. So while the secretary there knows the truth, he admitted that his government would not recognize it because they see Jerusalem as a negotiated point for the two-state solution and path to peace. Personally, it seems Belgium's Philippe de Becker has noted publicly the truth about Israel's capital. And this is an important and newsworthy tidbit because the U.S. Embassy is slated to reopen in Jerusalem in May, in time for the 70th anniversary of the nation's founding and independence in the modern day. Celebrations are scheduled worldwide. In D.C., events are scheduled at the Museum of the Bible with the Israeli Embassy and with sponsoring agencies such as the International Christian Embassy. In Jerusalem, the ICEJ is an organization that has worked tirelessly alongside Israel and other supporting organizations when all the embassies had left Jerusalem and relocated to Tel Aviv. The International Christian Embassy in Jerusalem decided to keep its doors open and maintain its presence in support of Israel's right to exist, proclaiming the truth about its character in the face of things like BDS, media bias, and promoting tourism and charitable endeavors for all Jews and all residents of the region. What's exciting to see is the fruition of the decades of work of our organization, the Jerusalem Connection, and its sister organizations, including the ICEJ, Every State for Israel, and others of Jewish origin or secular but political organization. That the truth and the character of Israel is being touted from the halls of the UN by Nikki Haley, from the President of the United States' own mouth, from Hollywood actors, singers, and performers, and the major piece of ripe fruit at the moment is the return of the embassy, the U.S. Embassy, to Jerusalem on or before May 11th. Other nations are supporting this and have similar plans, and they include the Czech Republic, the African nations of Tanzania and Ghana, and Hungary itself was in disagreement with the UN condemnation to condemn Trump's declaration that Israel is the capital. And other nations actually sided with the U.S. when the UN called for the vote. Those included Guatemala, Honduras, of course Israel, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau, Togo, and of course the United States. 35 nations actually abstained from that vote for various reasons, including Canada, which said it was trying to hammer out its position, but indicated that as far as their people's hearts were concerned, it would agree with President Trump's announcement about the capital of Israel and probably would have voted no for the condemnation. Other abstaining nations seem to indicate that they also didn't necessarily disagree with the United States, but had other political issues and negotiating points to contend with. Those included Mexico, who was in the middle of NAFTA talks, and also Australia, Argentina, Colombia, and Panama, which have other ongoing issues in the political realm to deal with, and they decided to stay out of the vote completely. I bring this all to your attention so that not only can you see how the tireless work of decades of work by Christians, by Jewish people, by people of various religions who simply see the truth of who Israel is and who the Jewish people are, and that the history cannot be denied of the land, and that America took its first step to enact its own legislation from 2 decades ago to relocate and reopen its embassy in Jerusalem, the true and undivided capital of the eternal nation of Israel. Shavua Tov. Have a great week.